Hello everybody, this is Liggett One and I'm Rudy. Today I thought I'd try to make a etching on glass of the Baby Yoda. First I started out with a 3D model that I got here on Thingiverse by Marvan Miniatures. Pretty easy to find. He's one of their featured model guys. This particular model's been downloaded a ton of times. 84,297. So there's a lot of people that like that little guy. Now what we're going to do is go into Luban and load the Baby Yoda. And there he is. Now if you look over here on the left, you'll see it says null. Well, that's pretty much just showing the model the way it is. Size and the whole bit. What we want to do is go down the wireframe. And after Luban thinks about it a little bit, it'll put something together for us. There it is. Now on this side you can see you have X layer, Z layer, and you can give numbered values as to how many or how far apart they're going to be. There you see I had 60. I'll just put that at 10 for a minute. And it'll take it a while to make an adjustment. This always comes up whenever you change any value. If you're not ready to save your model, go ahead and hit cancel and the effect will take place. Here you can see how the spacing of the lines worked out. I'm going to put that back on the 60. And we wait a little bit. Say cancel. There we are. This is the way I took it into Inkscape. That's the way we'll leave it. I do want to show something here. We have this, look right there, it says boundary clearance. Now you can't see it on this model, and even I'll take it to 8. You still won't be able to see it. But what that is, say you wanted to make this wireframe, and then you wanted to cut it out. Well, this actually puts the red line around it that can be read by the cutting program to do a vector cut. Really handy. And if you have a light base, or you've got one of those round bases that maybe isn't as big as the model is, you need it tapered down, here you can actually click on light base and make it the size that you want, the socket width and the socket height. And it'll put a tab on the bottom that'll fit into your light base for the same values that you give it here. Really handy. I'm not going to use one, so I will turn the light base part off. The boundary simply gives you distance between that red cut line and the model itself. If you have it at 0, it will trace this model exact. So it's incredible how close it gets to it. Right down to nothing. I'm going to give it a 5 just for S and G's, and that's pretty much where we're at with this situation. Then what you want to do is take it, export, and you can you'll pick the folder that you want it to go into, select it and kick it. I'm not going to do that because I've done that before. So the next part of the project that we want to do is go into Inkscape. Here we are in Inkscape. You can see the red line that I was talking about. Pretty neat. If I'd have given it 10, it would have been 10 millimeters away. If I gave it 0, it would have been right up against it. Really nice. Now this is a SVG type file, and as you can see, you can't really pick the whole thing unless you're going to pick the red line. But what we have is we want to get the size it's going to fit and work with it. And here you can see it's 671 height, 565 millimeters wide. That's not going to fit in our printer. And we can't modify that type of a file format. This is one of Inkscape's nice little tricks. We're going to do a save as. And when we save this file, what we're going to save it as, come down And here you can see the default Inkscape SVG, but we want optimized. We're going to come down and find optimized. And there it is. Once we save it and optimize SVG, we'll be able to work with that. Now I've already done that, so I'll just cancel it. But it would be in that folder, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to open up that folder, Baby Yoda and OPT, my abbreviation for optimize. We'll open it up. And now with it being optimized, we can select the entire scheme here, the whole everything, even though it's still an SVG. We're going to come up here, we're going to go into millimeters. We're going to change the size. If you notice up here, it's got that little padlock. Always click on that, turn it gold. That way it'll change the width and the height at the same time. And what I'm going to do with this, to make it fit the class I have, I'm going to change that to 180 millimeters. And if you notice, when I hit enter, it'll change the width and the height. We'll bring them back up. Now we're almost done. One thing you can look here, you'll see the page. The page is still way out there. And you throw it into a program, it's going to take up space. So the one thing we want to do is go into Edit and resize page to selection. Now you have it. The page is fitting the model. So when we go in and we save it, we can save it as pretty much anything that we want. We can do it as another optimize, or we can do it for the Inkscape plainness GV. I'm not going to save it because I did this before and it's already there. The next step we're going to want to do, of course, is to go in the K40 Whisperer. We're going to go into K40 Whisperer and we're going to do Open Design. Going to pick the file that 180 resized unit or resized model was in, if I can remember what it was. And here we can see Baby Yoda 180 height. HT is my abbreviation for height in that case. It's loading into here, and we'll see once it loads. Now here it is, it's ready to send to our laser. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up the advanced tab. Now here you can see the halftone is checked. I think it's pretty much from default, but you don't really need it. You can, it might make it a little sharper for you, but we're literally doing black and white. So to do the halftone, you don't really have to, and it does run a little faster if you don't. Up here, whenever I'm using my laser, I want to be able to use these arrows at a lot smaller increments, so I always change that to 2 just to let you know. And you've seen the finished model or the finished etching, but this is how I pretty much made it. As far as settings go, I did take the raster setting, and this kind of freaks me out a little bit because I set it to 150. Now on a K40 that's 150, and I had my power setting at 25. Now that's not much. Usually that wouldn't even scratch a piece of glass for me until the other day. The other day, after watching some videos, I decided to pull out the lens and flip it. Its original, the way it came from the factory, is that the globe side or the arced side was facing down and the flat side was facing up. So I flipped that around. I put the flat side facing down and the arc side facing up, and it's cutting like crazy now. But I guess we're out of time. I hope I didn't leave too much out. You guys take care. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.